Storybeans presents Tambo the Meerkat and the Savannah Surprise. In the golden heart of the African savannah, where the acacia trees stretched their thorny arms to the sky and the grass rustles with secrets, there lived a small, sprightly meerkat named Tambo. Tambo was quick to run, quick to dig, and very quick to make up his mind about things. His best friend, however, was quite the opposite. Ona, the octopi, was slow-moving, quiet and thoughtful. Her legs were striped like a zebra's, and her body was a deep chestnut brown. Most animals in the savannah didn't know what to make of her. She wasn't flashy like the cheetahs, or mighty like the lions. But Ona didn't mind. She liked to listen before she spoke, and observe before she acted. Tambo and Ona spent most days exploring the grasslands together. "Tambo," Ona said one morning as they trotted along a dry riverbed, "why do you always rush ahead without thinking?" Tambo, standing upright on his hind legs, squinted into the distance. "Because I know things, Ona. I've seen the world. If it looks dangerous, it probably is. And if it looks boring, it usually is. You don't need to waste time thinking." Ona raised a quiet brow. What about surprises or hidden truths?" Tambo laughed. "Surprises are for animals who don't pay attention." Just then, a loud crack came from behind a boulder. Tambo jumped so high he nearly flipped backward. "Predator!" he squeaked. "Maybe a snake or a leopard." "Let's check before we panic," said Ona calmly, stepping closer. From behind the rock scuttled a small, round creature, plump and furry, with short legs, twitchy whiskers, and beady black eyes. It looked like a rock with fur. "Hello," the creature said shyly. Tambo tilted his head. "What are you?" "I'm Huru, a rock hyrax," he said. "I live in the crevices here. Sorry if I startled you." Tambo frowned. "You looked like part of the boulder. That's sneaky." Huru shrank back. "I didn't mean to be sneaky. I'm just small, and I like blending in. It keeps me safe." "Or it keeps you suspicious," muttered Tambo. Ona gave her friend a nudge. "Tambo," she said softly, "remember what we talked about." Tambo crossed his paws. "I just don't trust animals who hide. It feels wrong." Huru looked hurt, but he smiled anyway. "That's okay. I'm used to being overlooked." Ona turned to Huru kindly. "Would you like to walk with us today?" The rock hyrax's eyes lit up. "Really? No one's ever asked me that before." As the three new friends continued across the savannah, Tambo kept glancing at Huru with suspicion. He was too quiet, too still, too rocky. Later that afternoon, dark clouds began to gather over the hills. "Looks like a storm," said Ona, gazing at the sky. "We should get to higher ground," Tambo cried, pointing to a nearby rocky hill. "No," said Ona slowly. "Storms here are fierce. We need shelter, not height." But Tambo had already sprinted off toward the hilltop. "Wait," called Ona. "That's not safe." Rain started to pelt down in big, heavy drops. The sky boomed with thunder, and the wind howled through the grasses. Ona and Huru ran after Tambo, but halfway up the slope the rocks turned slick, and Tambo slipped, tumbling into a shallow ravine. "Ah!" he cried, landing on a ledge. Ona stopped at the edge, her hooves unsure on the wet stone. "Tambo, are you hurt?" "A little. My paws twisted. I can't climb up." The rain gushed harder, and muddy water started to fill the ravine. Tambo looked around wildly. I don't know what to do. Hold on, Ona called, but she couldn't get down without falling in herself. Suddenly, Huru stepped forward. I can do it, he said quietly. You? Said Tambo, eyes wide. You're tiny. Exactly. I can fit through cracks and climb down steep paths you can't see. That's what my body's made for. Just trust me. Ona nodded. Go, Huru. Like a shadow among stones, Huru slipped between crevices, scuttling down to Tambo with sure-footed speed. Though he was small, he knew exactly where to place each paw. You're amazing, breathed Tambo, watching in awe from his rocky ledge. Huru reached him and gently nudged an acacia tree branch toward Tambo. Hold on to this. I'll guide you up this cliff path. With Huru's help, Tambo limped slowly off the rocky ledge. By the time they reached the top, the storm had begun to ease. Tambo lay on the ground, panting. You saved me. Huru smiled bashfully. I just did what I could. Tambo looked up at him properly for the first time. I judged you. I thought you were boring or untrustworthy because of how you looked. I'm sorry. Ona stepped forward, her voice gentle. That's why we say first things first. Don't decide what someone's like just by what's on the outside. Let their actions speak first. Tambo turned to Ona and nodded. You're right. From now on, I'll wait and see before I jump to conclusions. The sun peeked through the clouds, casting golden light across the soaked savannah. Tambo turned to Huru. So, friend? Huru beamed. Friend. From that day on, the trio explored together. Tambo's energy, Ona's wisdom, and Huru's quiet strength made for a perfect team. Tambo still liked to rush ahead, but now he paused just long enough to ask questions, to observe, and most importantly, to listen. And somewhere, deep in the wind that whispered through the acacia trees, the savannah seemed to sigh with approval. Thank you for watching Story Beans. See you next time.